good, YouTube? Welcome back to JY's Adventures. We right back on the horse. We right back in the grind. We right back. Saw a few comments. React to zombie outbreak and all of us are dead. By cinema summary. Y'all already know we gonna check this one out. If you're new to the channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Zombies, man. I love a great zombie movie, you know what I'm saying? Let me know what I should react to next down in the comment section. And join my Discord. Link is in the description. Without any further ado, let's go.
If you are a student trapped at school and everyone in your class has turned into a murderous zombie, what would you do? In this
zombie
video,
hordes.
I'll be covering the
We getting the shotguns
with the next video about all the other survivors. As
we getting the
break down
barricades.
made, what you should do, and how to beat the zombies in All of Us Are Dead.
Oh man.
This school is about to become hell on earth. Classes have ended for the day, and Hyung-Ju here wakes up to find that her friends have already gone home.
Everybody else left her alone.
The girl hears a noise in the science lab and decides to check it out. Walking into the room, she
Don't
discovers
do
a
it!
strange
Curiosity
box
killed the
rattling on
cat.
the ground and lifts up the cover to find a caged hamster inside.
A hamster?
The girl sticks her finger through one of the holes, but the creature lashes out and bites her. She notices that the animal's infected.
That ain't your
with the
regular
disease
hamster.
and has no idea that it's just started a zombie pandemic. The
No!
next morning,
This ain't like Spider-Man where you get bit and you get superpowers, bruh. Oh man, curiosity killed the cat. Look at it.
Started a zombie pandemic.
Look at it.
The next morning,
rabid as
the
heck.
students are getting ready to take a test as they all hand in their phones. But this teacher realizes that one of the girls is missing. The nerd remembers she was last seen yesterday in the science lab, but nobody has seen her since. Suddenly, the missing girl stumbles into the room, and everyone is shocked to see her covered in blood as she collapses.
Oh no. Now they try to get her help.
The group brings the girl to the infirmary and lays her down on a bed while the teacher calls for emergency services. But the girl's condition is getting worse. The students hold her down.
He got a sense of the blood.
Wildly and manages to scratch her classmate on the wrist.
She's
the
infected.
ambulance finally arrives and they put the girl into the van while Unjo talks to their father, who's a paramedic. As he wraps up her wound, the man reassures his daughter that he'll come back to check on her, but the girl insists she's fine. With
It's
that,
too
they
late,
drive off
Dad.
the campus towards the hospital, and the teacher tells her students to keep quiet about this until she finds out more. Later that day, these kids are walking past the infirmary when one of them sees something strange. The nurse is standing like she's drunk, but when she turns around, her face
She's
is covered in blood. She must have been bitten, and suddenly runs at the students, crashing straight into the wall. The boys laugh it off, but she quickly stands back up and takes a huge bite out of this kid's neck. Terrified, his friend rushes in.
Oh, y'all ever had a crush on y'all teacher? That ain't the way to get it done, bro. Don't let her bite your neck like that, bro.
and pulls the woman off, but it's too late.
He already got bit.
Infected, and the boy runs into another classroom with a new
Bite somebody else.
Okay, this would have been a good day to call in sick. A zombie virus has just been released in your school, and it's horrifying. But there's already a detail here that might help us survive.
Okay, what's the
scariest
detail?
thing about this is not the zombie. It's actually how fast the kid transformed after being bitten. It took him exactly 20 seconds to die, and a total of only 30 seconds to turn into a walking corpse. At this rate, it's going to be a matter of minutes before the entire
Everyone
school
is infected.
And that means there's very little time to decide what we should do. Your natural instinct will be to run off campus as quickly as possible.
Yeah, isn't that the smart thing to do?
That might be a mistake. For starters, it's important to realize that zombie outbreaks aren't contained, they're only slowed down. Eventually, this is going to spread everywhere, and that means the outside world will be just as dangerous.
Bad.
Now,
so it's better stay in the school.
Resources, because if we leave, we'll just be looking for another place to take shelter that has food, water, and rooms to hide.
Right.
Here, we already have it all, including
cafeteria,
a kitchen, which would have food supplies for thousands of students. This is as good as it gets, and the smartest thing to do is defend the castle and slowly clear the zombies out over time.
Right,
Once you've decided to stay, we'll need to find the best place to hide. You might be thinking of locking yourself in one of these classrooms until rescue arrives, but this would be another horrible mistake. If you look here, you'll notice that these are sliding doors, which means that the only thing keeping it in place is a small wooden rail system at the top of the frame. It's incredibly flimsy, and that's why wherever we hide, we need to have a conventional hinge door, which is much stronger. We also want to choose a location that has some strategic significance to help us survive as long as possible. These will be places that keep valuable resources like food, water, technology, or anything that will need
medication as well.
Get help. Now, when you're in the middle of a zombie outbreak, it's hard to be thinking this far ahead. But one of the most valuable places in any building is the security room. If we can monitor the entire school...
FNAF, y'all. Five Nights at Freddy's. We got the cameras. We're looking through each room. We know exactly where zombies are, where they aren't.
We'll be able to track the zombies' movements, giving us a better chance to acquire the resources we need to survive. You might think that this...
I love this man's thinking so much.
The government spent $30 million to install CCTV cameras in every single grade school in the city.
For real?
We can be fairly certain that this school would have cameras feeding into some kind of security system.
All set up, ready to go.
But they don't realize an even deadlier apocalypse is happening right under their noses. The Battle Cats is a brutal and satisfying game where you lead an army of cute yet ruthless cats. And
you know what's crazy? I saw someone play through that already, man. Shout out to him getting his brand deal with such a cool game. No cap, this is a cool game. Battle Cats is a great game to play.
Sponsoring this video. Meanwhile, in the cafeteria, Eunjo is talking to her childhood friend Chung-san, and the girl admits she has a crush on one of his friends. He asks if the boy likes her too, but she doesn't know. Eunjo begins to walk away, and that's when the guy realizes he has feelings for her, but he's picked the worst possible time for a high school romance. Suddenly, a crowd of students burst into the cafeteria,
timing, bro.
shattering the front doors. Nobody
You couldn't have like timed it like 2 weeks before the zombie apocalypse, fam. You know what I'm saying?
understands what's going on, and as the students start scrambling, Eunjo sees a zombie storm into running to save her.
Get away,
picks her up, looking around for another way out. They head towards the windows to try and escape, and Eunjo climbs through first, with the boy following close behind. They land outside and run into the school until they reach the soccer field, but their way is blocked. Zombies are everywhere.
That's too
there's
open.
Nowhere left to go. But that's when a truck comes wheeling in and crashes straight into the side of the school. Seeing their chance, they quickly
climb up on the top of the truck
and manage to pull themselves onto this balcony, where they find a window.
Nice getaway. In the building is the best place to be.
And find a classroom where other students are taking shelter. Banging on the windows for help, the students let them in, quickly closing the doors behind them.
They went behind a weak door though.
Reunites with their friend, and they're both relieved to see each other still alive.
Nice.
This situation is about to get
Here comes the
much
zombies.
worse. They all take a moment to calm down, and the group realizes that none of them have phones to call for help. Discouraged, this student walks over to guard the doors, but that's when a teacher suddenly barges into the room.
Is he infected?
Safety, he immediately takes control and instructs the kids to start barricading the entrance.
Okay,
smart. They follow his orders, but this girl notices something terrifying, pointing out that the teacher has a bite mark on his arm.
I knew it!
The students freeze in fear, and the man tries...
Body him! Get him out of here! Body him!
Tries to deny it, but nobody believes him. The girl insists he leave the room, and her classmates agree. But as the teacher walks up to discipline her, he suddenly collapses to the floor. The man quickly begins to transform as the students watch in horror. And before they can stop him, he charges at this girl, biting deep into her throat.
Oh, that's another one.
Picks him up and tosses
him out of the
room.
room.
But it's too late.
Get out of the room.
Been infected. Thinking quickly, Chung-san uses a table and pins the teacher up against the wall as his friend holds back the zombified girl, helping the others escape from the classroom.
Nice.
Together, they all run across the building looking for another place to hide, but more zombies appear at the other end of the hallway. This kid Soo-yuk fights them off as best as he can.
That man is strong!
Window frames, using them like a shield.
Fighting off these
That's when the big kid charges forward with the door and starts pushing the monsters away.
Oh, these kids are innovative. What?
It's working, and the students manage to back them down into the stairwell, taking their chance to run up to the next floor.
Okay.
These students could have avoided this entire situation. When the teacher ran into their classroom,
should have checked him immediately.
Asked him if he was bitten, and the man said no. But
of
they
course
never
he will.
made him prove it. In a situation like this, everyone is going to be desperate. So I would have made the teacher strip down to his tidy whities to prove that he didn't have a bite mark, or else he has to leave. Trust can get us easily killed if it's not managed carefully. And that's why I would establish
Can't trust nobody.
Search policy before anyone new is allowed to join the group. Now, understanding the strengths and weaknesses of our enemies is going to help us kill them more efficiently. But we can only learn this by observing their behavior. Thankfully, there were already signs that tell us more about the zombie virus if we were paying attention. One of the most dangerous things about the scenario isn't just that they can bite you, it's that they can pack a huge amount of force when they gather together. What's interesting is that this dynamic has actually been studied extensively from incidents called crowd crush. A modern example of this...
Travis Scott concert. It literally just popped in my head, and Here we go.
Is the Travis Scott concert at the Astro World Festival that injured over 300 people. The mechanics of Crowd Crush are actually terrifying because if there's enough of them, these zombies could cause a pressure wave that becomes so densely packed it can literally exert thousands of pounds of force in every direction. A crowd of zombies like this is not something you can stop. And when you realize that the majority of these classroom doors are made out of either glass or wood, it's clear that we need to break through a safer environment before it's too late. As dangerous as this is, it also might be something we can use against them. In a crowd crush, people become victims of their own biology because pure instinct takes over, preventing thousands of people from being able to remain calm. Instinct is exactly how zombies behave, and if we give them the right trigger and a distraction to follow, we might be able to funnel them into a small area like one of these stairwells and force them into their own crowd crush where they can't escape. They make it up to the next floor,
get them all stuck in a stairwell.
And as the kids try to get into the classroom, they discover the door has been padlocked shut. There's no way in. But that's when Unja here has a clever idea. Reaching for the fire hose, she pulls it from the box and uses it to break the lock apart. All the students quickly run inside before closing the door behind them. They're safe from the monsters for now, and everyone begins barricading the doors to stop the zombies from entering. The class takes a break and settles in as they wait for help to arrive, but it's starting to look hopeless. Unja comforts her friend Isak and holds her hand for emotional support. But that's when she realizes something is wrong. Her hand is cold, and blood starts dripping from her nose. She's been bitten, and the girl tries to deny it, but the signs are clear. Chung-sun steps in to pull his friend back, and the girl collapses to the floor, quickly transforming into a full-fledged zombie. She tries running for Unja, but the boy shoves her out of the classroom window, sending the zombie falling to her death. The group is feeling hopeless, but seeing the open window, Chung-san suddenly realizes there's another way to escape. He suggests they should get the fire hose so they can use it to climb down the building. The others agree with his plan, so he grabs the arm of an anatomy dummy and manages to silently drag the hose through the door. His plan...
They should be able to climb down one at a time, right? Man, this is intense, bro. I gotta check this out when I'm in some free time, bro.
The students help to tie footholds into the makeshift rope before the boy throws it out the window.
Yeah.
This kid, Kyung-soo, decides to go down first, and he lowers himself to the second floor.
You gotta be the tester, bro.
That his teacher has been hiding just below them.
Is she bit or not?
Let the boy in, and the others all climb down
check her immediately.
The last of the students have made it safely inside.
Check her immediately.
The kids ask the teacher if she called the cops, and the woman assures them help is on the way. But the students are surprised that nobody has shown up yet. Noticing the computer, the nerd points out that the internet should still be working, and the group looks for information about the zombie outbreak, but they're interrupted when the fire hose nozzle suddenly breaks the window. Chung-san here slowly approaches to check it out. When a zombie drops
Zombies crawling down the hose.
But the mop handle breaks apart.
No!
Suddenly pulls out his friend's hands and thrusts the handle into the monster's shoulder, but the zombie won't die. Joining in, this kid picks up the computer and hits the zombie.
Hit it with a computer!
Okay, this student...
I'm breaking my computers like I show speed. I'm breaking my computers like losing in League of Legends.
He's an idiot. He's just taken one of the group's most valuable resources and used it as a blunt weapon. If the kid needed something to defend himself, there were tons of other objects he could have used instead, like this speaker here. Now in reality, this zombie would have been a much more serious problem, because bashing him in the head is not going to suddenly knock his foot loose, and that means we need a better strategy to handle the situation. If it were me, I would open this other window, then take these XLR cables here and wrangle the zombie to pull him sideways. This would give another student the chance to safely climb up and untangle the zombie's leg. As risky as it sounds, it's much better than using our only contact with the outside world as a blunt weapon. Now, the internet is one of the most useful survival tools on the planet, and although it might sound harsh, that makes this computer more valuable than everything else. This actually brings up an important point, because one of the hardest adjustments you'll have to make in a zombie apocalypse is putting the group
who you're gonna sacrifice
instead of the individual. Friendships are important, but we also have to protect ourselves from our own humanity, because this is how to beat decisions that work against our survival.
We gotta survive no matter what.
Perfect example, because even though she's clearly showing signs of infection, her friend is defending her,
trying to save her. No, don't work like that.
This dynamic is not safe. So we need to establish a set of basic rules that removes the risk of emotional decision-making before it's too late. The first rule is to always quarantine any member of the group who might be infected. We're not sure yet how long it takes to transform, because this student took only 30 seconds to turn, but the teacher here took much longer. That's why I would insist on a 30-minute quarantine before letting anyone rejoin the group. The best way to do this is to use the furniture in the room and barricade the student into the corner as quickly as we can until we're
that way you can isolate him.
The second rule is,
nice thinking.
If you know that someone has been bidden, then
get
they
rid
should
of
take
them,
the
body
honorable way
them.
out, or else we'll
I've
have
been
to kill
saying
them.
that.
It's not personal.
I've been said
it's
that.
just a safety measure. And if we all spend too much time saying goodbye, then one innocent hug can turn deadly. The
you get
third
bit.
rule is
it's over.
Everyone should pair up with another student and create a
buddy
buddy
system.
system where you alone are responsible for your partner and vice versa. It's one of the simplest and most effective strategies
Traveling
for survival
tools.
because you'll always
watch
have
each
someone
other's
watching
back.
your back. This is actually how the FARC guerrilla fighters in Colombia organized their army as well.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Soldiers, but take this one step further and routinely change the pair groups. That way, the soldiers don't form attachments to each other, and it prevents them from emotional decision-making, protecting the entire army as a result.
As a whole, wow,
is that nobody will
great,
ever
bro.
be alone. So if someone is undermining the group's survival for selfish reasons, there's enough accountability to protect the group.
We already
They'll
know.
take a moment to catch their breaths. When Nayeon here notices that Young-Soo's nose is bleeding, it accuses him of being bitten. He defends himself, explaining that he got hit in the face during the attack.
Check
the girl
him.
points out that he also has a scratch on his hand. She insists it's a bite mark, and the students don't know who to trust. So the teacher intervenes and tells the boy to stay in the recording booth so they can monitor his
Time to barricade him.
Accepting the deal, the boy moves into the other room, but 30 minutes later, everyone can clearly see that he's not showing any
Oh, he's not changing.
Upset
Nice.
that she's been proven wrong. Nayeon here heads inside the
She went
recording
to apologize?
booth to apologize.
Nice,
but the others
okay.
don't know that she still wants revenge. Approaching the boy, she grabs
Revenge
his
for
hand
what?
and starts dabbing it with a rag. But this one action is going to get him killed. That night,
it's
girl
the blood from the
that
zombie.
Young-Soo is still infected. They think she's lying, but when they turn to look at Young-Soo, they discover that his nose has suddenly started bleeding again. Terrified,
he's changing
the boy
now.
realizes he's been infected, but doesn't understand how it happened.
Why?
The kid promises to leave so he won't hurt.
Man, I've been seeing a reoccurring thing since I've returned to YouTube, bro. You can't trust nobody out here, bro. I'm telling ya. I turned off the audio. Hold up. You can't trust nobody, bro.
Doesn't understand how it happened. The kid promises to leave so he won't hurt anyone and walks over to the door when suddenly the symptoms intensify and he collapses, slowly transforming into a zombie.
Dang, that girl!
With murderous rage, lunging straight for Chung-san, who dodges at the last minute, and the
so
zombie
he
goes
dives
flying
out the
through
window.
It's tragic, and the boy watches the zombie run into the distance, knowing he'll never see his best friend ever again. Later, the group is sad.
You gotta do something about that girl.
The class president approaches Nayeon and accuses her of murdering Young-Soo. Earlier, she saw the girl wipe the handkerchief on the bloody mop handle and rubbed it into the boy's wound. The others can't believe what they're hearing, and they're furious. They force her to leave the room, and she walks into the hallway,
alone,
knowing that the zombies are going to kill her.
That's what you get.
Realizes that they've all just left her to die, and follows after the student, hoping to save her. But it's
why?
too late. They're attacked by zombies, and the class has now lost their favorite teacher. Okay, Nayeon
she bodied
was so
someone.
Being proved wrong that she literally infected
killed
this guy just
the
to
dude.
save face. It's
right, changed
psychotic.
him.
But as horrible as this was, the girl just demonstrated that she has what it takes to survive. And if she had used these cold-blooded instincts in Squid Game, she might have even won 45 billion won.
She was the same actor from Squid Game.
Now, according to social
That's crazy.
Theory, group conflicts are unavoidable when you're
I gotta react to How to Beat Squid Game.
Status is being questioned by someone with low self-esteem. This can happen when a group has no internal structure that establishes roles and hierarchies to keep everyone accountable. The buddy system rule is a huge fix to this problem because everyone's actions are closely monitored. If Nayeon had a partner, she never would have had the opportunity to protect Young-Soo, and he'd still be alive. With 3 students and 1 teacher,
but she got what she deserved. Except the teacher, though.
Situation
feel bad for the teacher.
More dangerous. That's why the smartest thing to do right now is to start crafting makeshift weapons and protective gear to defend
get
ourselves.
out.
Now we can't stay in this room forever because eventually
no
we will
food.
need food and water. Thankfully, these students found an effective method to access other classrooms by climbing up and down the side of the building. So if it were me, I would start gathering all the valuable resources we can find. First of all, we're going to need plenty of
protective gear.
The most likely places
protect our arms and our neck
are the forearms and legs. So the best solution is to find newspapers or magazines.
Oh, and the legs, right?
Okay. Next, I would risk going back upstairs to the science lab where there should be safety goggles, and these will give us added protection. We already know that stray blood can still infect
from our
us
eyes
because Nayeon used it to kill Young-Soo. So while it might not look stylish, this added layer of protection will go a long way.
Really
Other
help.
things I would take from the lab are Bunsen burners and canisters of butane gas. device, which could be used
burn
as
the
explosive
zombies.
devices. We should also be
Blow 'em
looking for
up.
any scissors along the way as melee weapons in case things get dire. Nobody in this group has even considered finding supplies to arm
Trying to
themselves.
fight.
And if they don't start strategically planning for
They're
self-defense,
just thinking about
they
escaping.
won't be able to move through the school to get the resources they need to survive. The next morning, Chung-san looks out the window worried that nobody is coming for them, but the boy has an idea to escape. He tells Unju that all their phones are still downstairs, and his friend tries to stop him, but he's determined to get
Oh,
out.
he's gonna
With
go for the
Soo-hyuk
phones
joining him,
alone?
they climb
Oh,
across
somebody
the ledge,
joins him.
blowing
Nice,
themselves
okay.
down the drain pipe to
That's
peek
good.
inside the teacher's lounge. He sees a group of zombies inside, but to their luck, a noise suddenly lures them out into the hallway. It's their best opportunity.
Very
and
lucky.
The boys sneak inside, careful not to make
Lucky.
a sound. Chung-san sees a phone on the floor and reaches out to
Perfect.
pick it up, but the zombies are coming back.
They're
inside,
right
and
back.
His friend grabs him to escape before it's too late. Checking
Yeah, I
the
better
phone,
get out of
he
here.
realizes that
It's
been
not
shattered
working.
and runs back in to find another one, as Soo-hyuk has no choice but to climb back outside.
He getting away.
Moving quickly, Chung-san runs into the hallway,
Bruh.
managing to escape the zombie horde, and darts
You
into
are-
a nearby office closing
you got
the door
away?
behind him, but is surprised to find Nam, the school bully, tying up the principal. The man screams
Why?
for help, and
What's
Chung-san
going
tells
on?
the boy to stop, pointing out the phone to record evidence. Nam declares that he's the king of the school now, and as the principal tries to run away, he turns around, slitting his throat. The
What?
student is shocked, but that's when the
So
boy
not only do we have to deal with zombies, we gotta deal with psychopathic bullies as well too? Bro, you peaked in high school, bro. You ain't popular no more. Face it, tell him to accept it, bro. Anime guys, weaves, you know what I'm saying? Gamers are the cool guys now. Accept it.
tries to run away, he turns around, slitting his throat. The student is shocked, but that's when the bully approaches, asking for the phone, and he's
Crazy.
ready to kill him for it. The two students start
Get out of
fighting,
there.
and
Whoa,
Chung-san
nice
manages
dodge.
to knock him over the table before running out of the room as the bully
Grab the
chases
phone.
after him. He
Okay.
runs into the library, but the place is completely crowded
Packed with
with
zombies.
It's
Nah,
a dead
damn.
end, but he manages
Dang.
to avoid the monsters
What are we
by
gonna
climbing
do?
up onto a bookcase for safety.
The shelves.
The bully follows him up and chases the kid across the library before quickly tackling him and pinning him
Toss him down to the
Chung-san
zombies.
has nowhere to go, and the
Toss him
zombies
down to
are
the
about
zombies.
to grab him when he suddenly shoves the phone straight into the kid's eye before throwing him over the edge. The zombies swarm in, eating him alive, but the
He got
boy
what he
swears that
deserved.
he'll get his revenge as Chung-san escapes the library. Desperate, he runs for a small maintenance hatch in the hallway and climbs inside to safety at the last second.
Wow.
It's a tight fit, but the zombies
He's
have
gonna
no
climb
way
up
to
the
follow him
pipes.
inside, and he finally has a chance to call for help. He turns it on and
Great.
is horrified to
Great
discover
job,
that
bro.
all signals are jammed. The entire province is under
No
lockdown,
signal.
and he realizes that he'll have to survive this all on his own. Okay, this was not smart. Going downstairs to get the phones is a great idea, but the problem is that these kids went out with no preparation whatsoever. They don't have
Nothing, no
weapons,
weapons,
or any
no-
kind of
no
protective gear,
defense.
and it's making this plan a lot more dangerous. Now, earlier in the cafeteria, there was a really important observation to make about these zombies' behavior. When Chung-san here kicked the zombie to the ground, instead of getting back up to bite him, it immediately ran in the opposite direction to attack another student nearby. This means these zombies are only able to focus on the last thing that stimulates their attention, and don't have the mental capacity to remember anything. This is a major advantage, and it
Nice,
means we
okay.
should be able to lure them away from a confrontation with any kind of noise or visual
Noise.
distraction. Now, we
Noise
don't want
always
to use the
works.
PA system because the speakers are in the ceilings, and it will make the zombies look up. Fortunately for us, this school is full of interesting resources to help us with this experiment. If it were me, I would climb the fire hose up to the science lab first, grab a Bunsen
Grab
burner
it.
kit, and bring it back
Cause
down
an
to the teacher's office.
explosion.
Then, we can light some of these books on fire and throw them in the opposite corner of the room. Based on what we've seen so far,
Then the zombies
are going
run
to
that-
instantly
run that
gravitate
way.
towards the distraction because it's a sensory stimulus, and they will give us a window of opportunity to sneak in and grab a phone while nobody's looking. We can even test this idea before entering the room, and one of the added benefits here is that zombies don't feel pain. This means they don't have any natural biological mechanisms to prevent them from harm, and there's a
Aight.
good possibility that the zombies will light themselves up in the process. We also don't have to worry about setting fire to the
Jeez.
school, because as we saw in the cafeteria, the building's sprinkler system is
They
still
got a
working,
sprinkler
and if the
system.
flames got too high, it would trigger the alarm to put the fire out. Now, there's one interesting possibility that this presents for us, because when a human dies, their decomposing bodies leak enzymes from the cells, and it starts producing a huge amount of
Putrefaction.
gas. But the most surprising thing is that several several of these gases are combustible, like methane and ammonia. Now, if this process of decomposition was happening faster than normal, then there's a possibility that all of these zombies are filled with flammable gases ready
combustion,
to explode, and all it takes is a fire to
some
set them
fire,
off
and then
bombs.
they start
It's
popping.
just a theory, but it's not hard to test. And
they start popping like some kettle corn, some popcorn.
finding ways to use the zombies' biology against them might be the smartest method to stay alive. In the audio room, Eunju here is worried about her friend Chung-san, but suddenly has an idea of how to help him. She remembers that the science club was making drones for a school project.
Oh,
and
we
it's
got
the
a
best
plan.
way to find where their friend is. The
Alright,
girl here
okay.
agrees to help.
We're
and
going
they
for the
climb up rope
drones.
to retrieve them. They find the drones and bring them back to the classroom, setting one up and flying it outside to search for their missing friend. Scanning through the school, they find Chung-san inside the music room, and he's still alive. He managed to make it out of the maintenance hatch, and the group is relieved. But their lives are about to become a lot more difficult.
Oh
In
no!
the library,
It just
the
keeps
bully
getting
suddenly
worse.
wakes up after being attacked. He somehow survived, but hasn't turned
What?
into a zombie. The boy is immune to the virus, and now he'll have his chance to get revenge on
Ain't no way! Ain't no way! The bully immune, bro. What? Yo, the writing of these shows, fam. I mean, of course he's the one that's immune. Now he's about to go after all the students. I told you, bro. What's worse than zombies, bro? A bully that, you know, lost his popularity.
have his chance to get revenge on Chung-san. In the recording room, Eunju is talking with her friend Ji-min, who's overwhelmed by the situation and needs to rest. She lies her head down on the desk, but accidentally presses the intercom button, alerting everyone.
Start making
outside.
noise.
The class president walks into the room to turn it off, and that's when she has a clever idea. The girl explains that if they use the PA system to play
They could
music
distract
on one
the
side of the
zombies.
halls, the zombies will go in that direction, allowing
So
them
they
to
could-
get
so they could
Chung-san
escape.
and reach the rooftop to signal for help. They all agree, and with the plan set,
See,
the
they
music
could have
starts
showed
playing
food,
throughout
used
the
the
school.
mixer.
Instantly, the zombies begin clearing the hallways to follow the sound, and the plan is working. But
Nice.
there's a problem. One of the zombies is stuck in the wall right outside their room, and he's not leaving. Realizing it's their only option, the group walks
try
out
to
to
make
the
a-
hall, quietly sneaking behind the zombie.
try to
That's
sneak.
when the nerd drops his bottle. It alerts the zombie, who turns around, and the group sprints up the stairs.
Oh,
as
stealth
Soo-hyuk
mode did
stays
not
behind to
work.
fight out the monster. He's tackled to the ground, and moments away from dying when suddenly he's saved by the bully at the last second. Nam here asks where Chung-san is, explaining he wants to get revenge for what he did to his eye, but Soo-hyuk
Dang.
refuses to tell.
You're about to
Furious,
get bodied!
The bully starts attacking him, throwing the boy to the ground and grabs his throat.
Oh,
That's when
no.
the class president rushes in to help, but
Okay,
Nam
class
bites
pres.
her arm and throws the girl aside. He's about to kill her when Soo-hyuk runs
Tossed
into him,
up the
knocking
window!
the student straight out the window.
Nice!
Okay, Chung-san up big time. He made an enemy out of this bully, and now he's come back to get revenge. We should be horrified by this,
He could have been a good addition to like the group too.
because Nam is completely immune to the virus and can go anywhere that he wants in the school. This kid has the freedom to sabotage every aspect of our
Travel
survival,
anywhere.
and with 9 lives to protect, we have to actually consider whether or not we should give Chung-san up. Right now, staying alive is already a full-time job, but if we play our cards right, we can turn this problem into an opportunity. If the zombies don't recognize Nam as human, it means he can find us food, lure zombies out of hallways,
He'd have been a
and
great
even go
addition.
outside to acquire more useful resources. With
You're
all
right.
this in mind,
He could just
it's
walk to the
actually
top of the
irresponsible
school.
to protect
The
Chung-san,
roof.
because it's going to put everyone in the group at risk
risk.
as long as he's here. The best way to handle this is to try and make a treaty with the bully and negotiate terms.
Come to a
for
truce,
Chung-san's surrender.
so all of us
It's
could
not
get out.
Personal, it's just survival. And in a zombie apocalypse, we'll all have to make difficult choices just like this one. Now, as for their escape plan, all I can say is they took way too long to figure this out. These kids were sitting in this audio room for more
For
than
the
a full day and night, and only
Day and
now
night?
have they considered experimenting
Using
with the
that
PA
idea.
system. This should have been the first thing
First thing that
looked
came
at,
to their
because
mind.
Every single object needs to be considered as a potential tool for survival. These kids literally
You gotta
spent
act-
more
you
time
gotta act
thinking
fast,
about how
yo.
to make a makeshift toilet than a makeshift weapon, and it's tragic. At the very least, they did the right thing and used the drone, but they still made a huge mistake. If I had a drone in this situation, I wouldn't send it out for longer than 10 minutes at a time. The batteries on these machines have an extremely short lifespan, and it's way
Oh.
too valuable to just use once
To
and crash
use.
it. They should have brought it back to recharge, because there was another benefit here that these students never considered. Right
What?
now, it's extremely dangerous to leave the classroom, and so far, distractions only work in isolated settings where the zombies are lured to a single location. This this drone changes that because it makes enough
noise
for the zombies to be drawn to it, and it can move.
I was literally thinking that, like, yo, drones make a lot of noise. We could probably use it as a distraction.
Through the building for at least 10 minutes at a time. With this in mind, the smartest way to use this drone is to systematically herd all the zombies out of the hallway and up the stairs, giving us the chance to leave for supplies
to finally get out
unnoticed. We can see on this map that there are 3 stairwells, and that means the drone can do circular laps herding the zombies up as we head down, and barricade all 3 stairwells in an organized effort. The group finally arrives at the music room, and everyone is happy to see Chung-san is still alive.
Yeah, okay, y'all got the homie back at least.
To catch their breaths. But that's when this girl notices something horrifying. The
What?
class president has been bitten, and all the students start to panic.
No.
Soo-hyuk here steps in to defend her and explains that she was bitten by the bully, not a zombie. But there's
All right.
Chung-san reveals that he saw Guinam get bitten with his own eyes, and knows for sure that the girl must be.
But they don't know he's immune. So what they should do is isolate her and see if she changes. That's all they gotta do. Isolate, barricade her, and see if she changes.
The boy insists Guinam wasn't a zombie, but that's when the girl climbs up on the windowsill, declaring that she's ready to sacrifice herself for the group if she turns. Soo-hyuk waits with her to see what will happen, but after a while, the girl starts to feel something strange. The students realize she has somehow resisted becoming a zombie, but she's not
immune?
fully human either, and they decide to keep her in the group, knowing
She
that it's
half
putting
and
all
half?
of them in danger. Later, Soo-hyuk sits down with the infected girl to monitor her symptoms, but the class president suddenly hears something strange. Getting up, she slowly walks towards the wall to find out where the sound is, but nobody else can hear anything.
Oh, she
That's when the girl
got
realizes
powers
her
now.
hearing has been enhanced, and it must be a symptom of the virus. Feeling uneasy, she insists they can't stay here forever and need to reach the roof. But Unjo already has a brilliant idea. Together, the students gather all the furniture and build a massive barricade in the center of the room, connecting this video camera to the sound system so they can lure the zombies to the other side. Opening the door, they let the zombies, in, making as much noise as they can to draw them in until the hallway outside is clear. Their plan is working, and the group starts leaving the barricade.
What are they gonna do next?
But they don't realize the bully.
The bully's there.
Fall, and he knows
How?
exactly where they're headed.
This man, this bully. This bully is overpowered. What the heck?
But they don't realize the bully has survived his fall, and he
What
knows
the heck,
exactly
bro?
where they're headed. The group goes up the staircase and runs for the rooftop, but they discover the door has been locked shut. They don't realize that another student is on the other side and has been waiting this whole time to be rescued. Suddenly, he spots a helicopter in the distance, and it's flying straight towards the school.
Someone is already on the roof.
The group can't break through
Open
the
the
locked
door.
And the zombies are
Open the freaking door,
They
fam.
over the stairwell to stop them from coming up, and the plan seems to be working. But that's when the bully
The
steps
bully
through.
stuff
He's here to
card.
get his revenge, and
He's
Chung-san
here.
realizes he's made a terrible mistake.
He's
Guinam
here.
climbs up the staircase and manages to block the kid's attack before pulling him closer. The bully is about to gouge his eye out when the class president intervenes, grabbing him
Once
by the throat
again
and
with her
tossing
zombie
him down the
powers.
stairs. Chung-san can't believe what he's seeing, and the girl stares at her hand in shock, surprised by her newfound strength. Outside, the rescue team drops.
She a zoman. She's a zoman, a zombie human.
Down to the roof, and the soldiers get out.
Hey,
up to
nice,
ask
we got
if
the
there's
soldiers
anyone
here.
else inside the building, but the kid lies, telling them that he's the only one left. Taking him into the helicopter, they begin flying away as the coward looks back, knowing he just abandoned his entire class. The other survivors finally managed to break
and they
through the
can't.
door, but it's too
They
late.
missed the
The
helicopter.
has already
They ain't got
taken
no
off,
noise
and
to
they
make.
lost their only
They
chance.
can't do anything.
Okay, this sucks. There's absolutely no way to alert the helicopter to come back for us, and now we're all stuck on this rooftop for no reason. Everything they've just done was for nothing, and it's a shame
All for
because
naught.
these kids were actually doing a pretty good job, except for one embarrassing detail. When they all left the classroom, they left both doors wide open, which is just about the dumbest mistake you could make. We've already seen evidence that these zombies are completely brainless, and can only respond to one sensory stimulus at a time. That means we would have been able to run out and close both doors without them even realizing it, and there's a good chance the zombies would have stayed inside until something else distracted them. Now, what these students don't realize is that this rooftop might actually be the most dangerous place on the entire campus. For starters, we're exposed to the weather, and
There's no way you
running
could
water
go.
or food. There's also only one way out, and it could be a death trap if the zombies break through. But the most dangerous thing about this place is actually the mosquitoes. It might seem like a small problem in a zombie apocalypse, but if you think about it, mosquitoes already kill more humans than any other animal on Earth, and if they became carriers of this zombie virus, then this situation would be locked up beyond all
Oh
odds.
no, I didn't even think about that. The rat.
Become infected
The hamster.
in this mouse, which means the virus is capable
Oh,
of
mouse,
cross-species
okay.
transmission and can live outside a human host. When you consider that mosquitoes are already carriers of malaria, dengue, West Nile virus, Zika virus, and yellow fever, it's not a stretch to think that they could be
That they
carriers
could transfer
of
the zombie virus
now,
too.
what's interesting is that mosquitoes use our CO2 presence to identify a potential food source. This should be good news for us, because it's a common assumption that zombies don't breathe, but this is actually not true. Zombies can and do breathe, because without exhaling, they wouldn't be able to moan. It's also important to point out that zombies still need a working brain to operate their basic movements and motor skills. For any of this to happen, blood is required to circulate through the brain, which means it's logical to assume there has to be some process
science
that
class
pumps blood
101,
without the
bruh.
help of the heart. If blood is being pumped, then CO2 is still being released, and this means that there's a reasonable chance a mosquito would consider an early stage zombie to be a potential
to bite
food
a
source.
zombie.
That's absolutely terrifying, because it tells us we could be infected with the zombie virus from one tiny mosquito bite. To make matters worse, rooftops can easily collect pools of water whenever it rains, and are a perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes, which turns this place into a death trap. For this reason, these kids should not have come up here, because now they're exposed to a potential
rooftop.
risk that they have no way to control.
To get
Later
out.
that night, the kids are depressed they've lost their best chance to be rescued. But
What do they
that's
do
when
now?
It suddenly begins
It
to
starts
rain. The
raining.
group hasn't had water in over a day, and they drink as much as they can. It's the best thing that's happened all night. But Chung-san notices something strange. The class president is covering her ears from the thunder because it's hurting her sensitive
too much
hearing, and
noise.
it gives him a clever idea. The zombies won't be able to hear them during a thunderstorm, and it's their best chance to escape.
get
He
away.
tells the others his plan, and
Let's
even though
do
it's
it.
risky, everyone
Let's do it.
agrees it's their only hope to survive. Quietly, the group makes their way down the stairs and through the hallways, sneaking past the
this is
zombies
creepy.
who are overwhelmed by the thunder. They escape
Oh,
from the
no.
school building, moving along the wall until they reach this truck. But
Let's
that's
go.
where everything falls apart.
Oh,
Chung-san
no, not
checks to see
again.
if the way forward is safe, but sees someone he never expected to be here. It's his mother, and she's become a zombie. The others realize they need
What?
to get out of here immediately and pull Chung-san away, who's too emotional
Talk
to
about a
continue.
plot
The
device.
students run as fast as they can, dragging him across the parking lot as he screams for his mother, but the noise draws the
That makes
attention
the
of a zombie
zombies
horde.
show
The group
up.
cuts across the field, but one of the girls falls
Dummy.
behind and trips, stumbling to the ground. Her friend is about to run
leave
back
her,
to help
leave her,
but sees
leave
a
her.
zombie
Go,
approaching and
go.
decides to save herself instead.
Go.
At the last second.
I'm sorry, fam. She gotta get bodied, bro. Look. If we in a zombie apocalypse and y'all see me as a liability, body me, bro. Body me. I'm telling y'all, bro.
Back to help her.
We
but
gotta-
sees a zombie
we gotta dip.
approaching and decides to save herself instead. At the last second, this boy Woo Jin comes to her rescue when suddenly it's shot in the head with an arrow. They've just been rescued by this guy's
Ooh,
sister.
we got
Jung Hwan.
weapons!
She's been looking for him this whole time.
We
and
got
now that
weapons
they're
on deck.
reunited, the girl urges the students to head for the
And
gymnasium.
she a marksman.
All the survivors run into the building for shelter and take a moment to catch their breaths. But that's when lightning strikes, revealing a large group of zombies on the other side of the room. They're completely outnumbered, and the kids run for their lives, managing to find shelter inside this equipment storage room. But now
crap.
they're trapped with nowhere left to run.
No.
The zombies are still waiting for them outside. and the survivors
Outside.
have no choice but to stay the night. Okay, the roof was not a good place to stay, but
So they
this
got
is
away from it.
arguably much worse.
Worse.
There's only one way out, and with no food or water, they're going to die here unless they fight out the zombies outside. Now, it's hard to think clearly when you're literally running for your life, but they definitely should have asked themselves if running into another building is really their best option. This is the first time since the outbreak began that they've been able to make it outside, and we've already established that the noise from the thunderstorm is helping them escape.
You're right,
Nam
okay.
has also promised that he won't stop until Chung-san is dead, so with this in mind, I would have suggested that we abandon the school completely
Leave
and
the
head
school
for the river
compound.
nearby. The most significant benefit of reaching a body of water is that zombies can't swim. We know this because they can't climb either, and both activities require a more advanced motor function than they are capable of using. Any large body of water is going to slow these zombies down, and that makes it an instant tool for our survival.
We should have
Now,
went to the
this
river.
school's in the fictional town of Hyosan, but I happen to know that this is the Han River, which flows through Seoul. If we manage to reach the waterway safely, this river can take us all the way out to the Yellow Sea, but there's one problem. Assuming they are here along the outskirts
Okay.
of Seoul, they would
Yeah.
have to drift as much as 100 kilometers before they get
That's
to the
a
shore.
long
It
trip.
might be safe from zombies, but without some kind of floating device,
Boat or
we wouldn't
something.
make it. thankfully, that's where the Navy SEALs can help us out. Because in their own survival training, they actually teach soldiers to use their pants as improvised floating devices by tying their legs into knots and capturing air. This lets you stay floating for as long as you need to, and it's their best chance of reaching a safer environment without encountering more danger. The next morning, the kids
I'm about to try that.
But that's
okay, I'm trying that.
Senses something troubling. More zombies are gathering, and with no food or water, the survivors realize they can't stay here. The group needs some way of breaking through the horde, and it gives Soo-hyuk here an idea. He proposes that they use the ball cages as a movable barricade and link them together to build a full circle of protection. Agreeing to the plan, the students create shields and put on their makeshift armor, preparing.
Finally, they get defense.
The boys open the doors, and the group rushes out, pulling the barricade around them as the zombies swarm in for the kill. The zombies can't break through, and the students walk forward, pushing the monsters back. But there are too many. The group can't move past them, and now they're completely
What do they do
stuck.
now?
A zombie grabs one of the survivors, and this nerd manages to free her, but he gets bitten on the hand.
No.
He realizes that he'll kill his friends if he transforms, and decides to sacrifice
himself.
Finding his second wind, the kid jumps over the cage and starts pulling
Props
the zombies
to him,
off
bro.
the barrier. So
Props
the
to you, bro. Shout outs to you, bro.
It's another friend they've lost, and there's nothing the group can do but keep.
Can't do anything about keep moving, except keep moving.
The other side of the gym and try to open the door, but are devastated to discover that it's locked.
Every door
There's no way to break
every door is
through,
locked,
and it's only a matter of time before the zombies eat them. Unju here is determined to escape and is about to run out the door when it suddenly opens from the other side. She's shocked to see her dad standing there and gives him a hug, relieved that he's come back to save her. The kids run through as fast as they can and close the door.
Shout outs to the dad. He's back with the milk, y'all. The dad is back with the milk. He went to the store for some milk.
Tells them to run through the tennis courts and cross the mountain for safety, but the zombies are already on their way.
They packed on the streets.
Through this fence,
they packed all over the pastures.
The zombies have them surrounded and are already breaking in.
No.
The father has a brilliant idea and lights
sound
a flame
distraction
before throwing it into the opposite corner of the tennis court. All the zombies are distracted by
now
the
you go. Run.
The father urges his daughter to escape. He pushes the students through the gate, but suddenly locks it behind them. The man has trapped himself inside and tells his daughter to
sacrifice himself.
It's the last time she'll ever see her father. They have no choice but to move on to survive. The group runs through a construction site and quickly heads upstairs as more zombies start chasing them. They're forced to climb out of this window onto the scaffolding to hide, and there's nowhere left to run. They'll have to go back inside to escape, but that's when they hear the bully approaching.
He's still chasing him.
And Chung-sun tries to take a swing at his head, but the bully is too fast for him.
He's changing.
The two of them start fighting, and he's no match.
He looks a
for
different. Is he a different color?
Overpowering him. The guy grabs onto Chung-sun before taking a massive bite out of his arm, infecting him with the virus. But Chung-sun won't back down. He suddenly pushes the kid off the ledge, setting him falling to the ground below. The student realizes it's only a matter of time before he transforms and says goodbye to his best friend, giving her something to remember him by. It's a touching moment, and with that, Chung-sun climbs back inside to help his friends escape.
End of the day, he was a goat. He was a goat. End of the day.
Elevator shaft, and they go plummeting into his trap.
Distraction.
His friends leave the construction site and head for the mountains, knowing that he's just saved their lives. That's when the bully finds Chung-sun, who quickly overpowers him and finally
still
takes
trying to fight this
Hitting
man.
Chung-sun
How
to
is he?
The bully starts gouging out his eye. Meanwhile,
He's a Zoman as well.
Has
Gotta be.
There's no way to contain the virus, and the only way to stop it from spreading is to launch missiles on
missiles?
the district. That's when the bombs go off, and the group of students look back at the explosion, realizing their friend is gone forever.
Everyone gone.
The next morning, the kids make it over the mountain, reaching a nearby town, and it looks safe. But the class president suddenly stops in her tracks. Using her enhanced hearing, the girl tells them that a horde of zombies are coming, and they need to get out of here right now. The group runs through the streets to escape.
Get out of there.
But this kid suddenly falls down. He's too injured
he's
to continue,
he's
and they
exhausted.
have no choice but to pick up weapons, getting ready for the fight of their lives. The zombies come
They
rushing
won't let
in,
him
and the
leave him
students
behind?
defend themselves, doing whatever it takes to survive. But that's when this kid sees a zombie running for his sister. He throws himself in front of her, saving the girl's life as it takes a bite out of his shoulder. The others manage to pull the monster off of him and kill it, but the damage has already been done. Woo Jin here is infected and quickly begins to transform,
Kill him before he gets up. Don't wait. Do him like Eren in Attack on Titan. Don't wait until they transform in anime, bro. Hit them while they're transforming. That's what you do.
Wu-Jin here is infected and quickly begins to transform, getting back to his feet as a zombie. But before he can attack anyone, the class president grabs him from behind and snaps his neck. She's just saved their lives, but the others are traumatized by her brutality. The girl realizes that she's slowly losing control of herself, and it's only a matter of time before she tries to eat her friends. Wanting to keep them safe, the girl decides
she's finally transforming now.
The group keeps moving on until they reach a military checkpoint, and the soldiers take them to a refugee camp. They'll finally be safe from the zombies, but after everything they've been through, they'll never truly move on. 3 months later, the group gathers to pay their respects to all the friends they've lost. When this girl suddenly spots a campfire in the distance. It's over where their school was, and they decide to check it out, realizing someone must have survived.
Who's alive?
They go back to the rooftop where the fire is still burning.
Who it is? Who is it?
But that's when a girl steps out of the shadows and
class
reveals
president?
herself to be the class president.
Yo!
Everyone's happy to be reunited, and Eunju invites her to come back with them. But the girl insists
she's still alive.
There are others just like her around the school, and she wants to keep them safe. Hearing her new zombie
the
friends
Zomans.
she runs off the rooftop and leaves them alone as they realize that this whole trip was a waste of time.
I guess this is like Spider-Man. You do get a power-up.
Runs off the rooftop
Look at that.
and leaves them alone as they realize that this whole trip was a waste of time.
Yo!
How would you beat All of Us Are Dead? Let me know with a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe.
Of
and
course,
check out the
fam.
playlist for more videos like this. Until next time, have a damn good day.
The man himself. The man himself. The legend. Y'all. That was lit, bro. That was dope, man. I'm trying that Navy SEAL thing where you put the the thing in the water and you create your own floating device, bro. Another banger video as always from Cinema Summary, guys. Let me know what y'all thought of it down in the comment section. Let me know what you thought of my reaction. Also, leave some reaction requests in the comment section as well, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.